welcome to this deep dive. It's all about belief and success. We have a really interesting mix of stuff that you sent us, articles, quotes, even some research. It's all centered on how belief,
Yeah.
isn't just some fluffy idea. It's a real driver of achievement. I know you all are learner types, so you like to get to the heart of things quickly, but also thoroughly. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to deep dive into this stuff. Get ready for some surprising examples. Like, did you know that a famous inventor saw thousands of failures as progress? And an athlete who was initially cut from their team. Talk about a testament to belief.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. We're not just talking about positive thinking here. It's about that deep conviction, the kind that shapes outcomes. One of the sources you send us uses a quote from Henry Ford.
Yeah.
Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
It might seem overly simple, but there's actually some really fascinating psychology behind it.
It really is. And how many times have we all psyched ourselves out of something just by believing we couldn't do it? I have. What's actually going on in our minds when that happens? Well, the fascinating thing is, our belief can become self-fulfilling prophecies. Think about it. When you believe you can't do something, you approach it with hesitation, maybe fear. And that fear really impacts your actions. You might just avoid the challenge completely or give up easily at the first sign of difficulty. But if you believe you can do it, even if it's difficult, it fuels different behavior. You persevere, you put in the effort, and your chances of success go up.
That makes total sense. It's
Yeah.
almost like that belief becomes the foundation for all the actions that follow.
Exactly. And speaking of foundations, one of the sources that you sent digs into this concept of growth mindset versus fixed mindset. They use Thomas Edison as the prime example, the inventor of the light bulb. He's famous for failing thousands of times before perfecting it, but he never saw those as failures.
The classic example of persistence. I think it's more than just not giving up, though, right? It's about how we frame those setbacks. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Edison had a growth mindset. He believed that you could develop abilities and intelligence through dedication and effort. So all those so-called failed attempts, they weren't roadblocks for him. They were data points, information he could use to adjust his approach and get closer to his goal.
I love that. Data points. So everyone listening, think about that for a minute. Where in your own life could you benefit from a growth mindset? Is there anything you've written off as impossible just because you've hit a few bumps in the road? Maybe it's time to look at those as data points instead and just keep experimenting. Another big idea from the sources you sent is that belief fuels perseverance. Success rarely just happens overnight. So how does belief factor into overcoming challenges?
It's like that internal engine, the one that keeps you going when things get tough. Michael Jordan, the legendary basketball player. Well, he got cut from his high school basketball team. If someone with that talent can face rejection, it really puts things into perspective.
Oh, wow. I had no idea about Michael Jordan. So even the greats face setbacks.
Yeah.
That's actually encouraging in a way, isn't it?
It is. And that's where belief is so important. It's the fuel that keeps us going, helps us learn from mistakes, and come back stronger. Without that belief, we give up when we hit obstacles. But when we believe in our goals and ourselves, we're more likely to find a way to succeed.
It's true. It's like that belief becomes this reserve of resilience that we can all tap into when things get tough. But it's one thing to talk about perseverance.
Yeah.
And another thing entirely to actually take action. A lot of what you sent highlights belief as the thing that ignites action. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I think that's spot on. Without belief, we get stuck in this cycle of fear and doubt, and that's paralyzing. But when we truly believe in ourselves, it gives us the courage to take those first steps, to move forward, even when we don't know the outcome.
The sources you provided have a great example of that. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. She had no background in fashion or business, and she faced constant rejection when she was trying to get her product off the ground. But she believed in her idea. She kept pushing forward. And now she has a billion-dollar company.
It's a classic example of what can happen when you mix belief with action. It makes me wonder, for those listening, is there anything that you've been putting off because of fear or doubt? Maybe a creative project or a business idea. What's just one step you could take today, fueled by belief in yourself, just to start moving towards it?
It's so easy to let those doubts control us. One thing that really stood out to me going through all this material was how much it emphasized that self-doubt is totally normal. It's not about getting rid of self-doubt entirely. It's about learning how to navigate it. What do you think?
Absolutely. Self-doubt is normal. We all experience it. It's about not letting it control us. And the sources you sent have some really good strategies for managing self-doubt. Things like affirmations, visualization, surrounding yourself with supportive people. Those are all valuable tools.
That's interesting. Of all those tactics, are there any that stand out to you or ones you've seen that work the best?
I think action is really powerful. It's almost like just by taking action, it helps you build belief. You start with one small step, maybe even something that seems insignificant, and then that small win feeds your belief. And that leads to another step and another. It's like a positive feedback loop.
I love that. A feedback loop of belief. We often wait to feel confident before we take action. But maybe it's the action that helps build the confidence in the first place.
Yeah. It's about breaking free from that cycle where you're always waiting for the perfect moment or for all the doubt to go away. Honestly, that might never happen. But we can try to shift our focus to taking action, even if it's imperfect action. We start to build evidence for ourselves that we can do it, and that can be really powerful.
All this focus on personal belief is making me think about something else that your sources touch on, the ripple effect. It's not just about our own success, is it? How does the belief of one person impact those around them?
That's a really important point. Leaders who have strong belief can inspire others to achieve amazing things. One of the sources uses Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech as an example. His belief in equality and justice was so strong, it sparked a whole movement.
It's incredible to think about how contagious belief can be, both for good and, unfortunately, sometimes for bad. But in MLK Jr.'s case, his belief really did spark positive change on a huge scale. It shows how much our individual beliefs can impact the world around us.
It does. It reminds us that we aren't isolated individuals. Our beliefs have this ripple effect. They influence everyone around us, our communities, society as a whole. Think about the people you admire, leaders, innovators, artists. Their impact often comes from a deep belief in their vision and their ability to make things better. It's fascinating that this ripple effect also works in our everyday lives when we believe in someone else, in their potential. It can help them step into that belief themselves.
It's like that saying, seeing is believing. But in this case, it's more like believing is seeing, or believing helps others see their potential.
Maybe.
This whole deep dive has been so interesting. We talked about how belief shapes our mindset, helps us persevere, fuels action, and impacts those around us.
It's been a really fascinating look at belief. It shows how much more there is to this concept than we might realize. I think we've only scratched the surface here.
You're right. And even in looking at the stuff you all sent, it's clear that belief isn't some switch you just turn on, right? It's something you grow and strengthen. It's an ongoing thing.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes belief so empowering. It's not something you either have or you don't. It's something you nurture. You choose to believe in yourself. You choose to believe in your goals. You choose to believe in your ability to overcome challenges. And you reinforce that belief by taking consistent action.
So, for everyone listening, here's a final thought as we wrap things up. We talk about how even icons like Michael Jordan faced setbacks. And entrepreneurs like Sarah Blakely started with nothing but an idea and a whole lot of belief. Knowing that, what's one small thing you can do today to work towards a goal you believe in? It doesn't have to be huge. Even a tiny step forward can help build momentum.
Yeah, it could be anything. Just write down your goal, research a new skill, reach out to someone for support. The point is to take action. Keep that belief engine running.
This deep dive into the power of belief has been fantastic. It's given me so much to think about in terms of my own goals and how I approach challenges.
Absolutely. And as you all continue on your journey, just remember that your beliefs are powerful. Choose them wisely, nurture them, and let them guide you. Help you reach your potential and make a difference in the world.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Keep believing, keep learning, and keep reaching for what's possible.
And it's amazing how that works. Just by believing in someone, you can help them believe in themselves.
It's like you're giving them permission to believe. This has been a really insightful deep dive. We've seen how belief affects our mindset, our perseverance, even our actions, and the people around us.
It's been a great exploration. And it highlights how much more there is to belief than meets the eye. We really just scratched the surface here.
Yeah, we did.
Right.
And it's clear from everything you sent that belief isn't something that just appears overnight, is it? It's a process.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so powerful. It's not something you have or don't have. It's something you cultivate.
You have to work at it.
Yeah. You choose to believe in yourself, in your goals, in your ability to overcome obstacles, and you strengthen that belief through action.
So as we wrap up, here's something to think about. We talk about Michael Jordan facing setbacks. and Sarah Blakely starting Spanx with just an idea and a lot of belief.
Mm.
What's one small step you can take today to move toward a goal you believe in? It doesn't have to be a big thing. Even a tiny step can help you build momentum.
Yeah, like just write down your goal or research a skill you need. Reach out to someone for support. Just take action and keep that belief going.
This deep dive into the power of belief has been amazing. It's given me so much to think about for my own goals and how I approach things.
Me too. And as you all continue to explore belief in your own lives, remember that your beliefs are powerful tools. Choose them carefully, take care of them, and let them guide you. Let them help you reach your potential and make a positive impact on the world.
That's great advice. Thanks for joining us on this journey into belief and success. Keep believing, keep learning, and keep striving for what's possible.